The needle was cold, a sharp clinical intrusion in the warm dimness of the exam room. Lena focused on the photograph, tucked into the palm of her other hand, a snapshot of Leo, laughing on a wind-swept beach, his hair a mess of sun-bleached curls. The doctor had warned her about the biopsy's sting, a necessary evil to rule things out. She'd nodded, her mind already retreating to that weekend in Montauk. The first prick was a bolt of white lightning, a clean, precise pain that demanded her entire attention. Her muscles tightened, a biological rebellion. Then, almost instinctively, she pressed the photograph against her chest, not looking at it, just feeling its presence. She let herself fall into the memory. It wasn't just the image. It was the sensory echo. The smell of salt and his cheap coconut sunscreen. The feeling of his calloused hand, rough from sailing lines, smoothing over her sunburned shoulder. The sound of his voice, low and teasing as he pointed out a distant dolphin. The memory wasn't a static picture. It was a world, and she stepped into it. The needle moved a deeper, duller ache now. But Lena was on that beach. The pain was still there, a faint thrumming signal in the background, like the distant sound of traffic from a seaside cottage. But it was muted, wrapped in layers of sun-warmed sand and the liquid gold of late afternoon light. She felt the ghost of his kiss on her temple, a specific, tender spot he always claimed was his. A chemical sigh seemed to unwind from the base of her skull, a physical unspooling of tension. The doctor's voice, asking if she was all right, sounded far away, muffled by the imagined crash of waves. In her mind, Leo was pulling her into the water, the cold Atlantic shock a thrilling contrast to the day's heat. She remembered the exact moment her feet left the ground, how he held her, how safe she felt even as the waves tugged at them. That sense of safety, of being anchored not against the world, but within it, flooded her now. It was a palpable warmth, starting in her core and radiating outward, reaching even the site of the needle's invasion. The sharpness dissolved into a manageable throb, a sensation noted but not owned. The procedure ended. The doctor withdrew the needle, placed a bandage over the spot. "You did great," he said, a note of surprise in his voice. "Most people flinch a lot more." Lena blinked, returning to the sterile room, the harsh overhead light. The photograph was damp from her grip. She looked at Leo's frozen laugh, and the echo of the memory's warmth still clung to her. Psychic insulation against the room's chill. Later, driving home, she understood. It wasn't that love was a distraction. It was an alchemy. The brain, conjuring the fullness of him, had not just painted over the pain. It had woven a different fabric of reality. The neurotransmitters that danced for him, dopamine, oxytocin, were the same gentle cohort mobilized by low-dose morphine, not to blot out sensation, but to change its meaning, to cushion the raw nerve against the world's hard edges. The biopsy site would ache for days, a sore purple reminder. But when it throbbed, Lena would reach for the Montauk memory, not as an escape, but as a summoning. She would feel the sun, hear the waves, and the ache would soften, becoming just another part of the landscape, a small stone on a vast, beloved beach. Love didn't erase pain. It built a wider, warmer world around it until the pain itself was just a minor passing cloud in a boundless personal sky.